real cost of hiring the wrong executive into your private equity or portfolio company. It can be really expensive and hugely inefficient if you hire the wrong executive either into your portfolio or your private equity firm. These costs come from obviously various different ways. There's if you have to use an executive search firm and it goes wrong, you have to pay them. There's a loss of productivity. There's a loss of huge amount of time. And then, of course, momentum within the business. And then lastly, which people don't take a lot of consideration for, is the effect on culture and therefore the overall effect from all of those on the business growth and those timelines you're looking forward to take this business to an exit. Of course, when looking at executives and bringing anybody, whether it be in your private equity firm or your portfolio company, does take a great deal of time. And therefore that time is hugely wasted when you get that wrong, as does the training of any employee that comes into any business. Whether they're a chief executive, they still need a bedding in period, so they still need to get aware of the company, and there still needs to be investment in bringing them up to speed. According to a CBS News study, the cost of an executive can be up to 213% of their basic salary in cost. And that considers everything of what I've just mentioned and obviously all the people's time around them for getting that wrong. That is a huge amount of capital to waste, especially when you've only got 3-6 years or so to take this business through to an exit, and you've got this huge amount of cost, and it might even wipe out a year of your exit timeline horizon and what that does to your EBITDA multiples and obviously your IRR, MOIC, and everything else that comes with it. One of the worrying things that came out of that study as well is it's increasingly likely that the wrong hire has a significant adverse effect, both on the employee base, but also the company as a whole. That's very concerning, again, linking that back into your exit timelines. So it's really worth avoiding. Not that anybody goes out there to bring on the wrong hire, but we need to be aware of the potential pitfalls if we do make the wrong hire. I apologize for the very quick interruption here. I just wanted to give you a little nudge. If you've not already, please do hit the likes button if this video you feel is valuable to you. It helps with the YouTube algorithms and helps me out tremendously. But also, please do subscribe and obviously hit the notification button for the channel if you do feel that this is stuff that you want to continue watching. That way, you'll be notified about every video that we release on anything private equity related. In a recent study from Career Builder, they reviewed a huge amount of companies and looked at the costs that they perceive themselves as having occurred. Just on an employee base, not just a C-suite executive. 41 of them said that a bad hire has cost them at least $20,000 USD. And 25% of them said it cost them at least $50,000. And this isn't executives, this is employees, junior, medium, or mid-level type individuals, within the business. So imagine what that's costing you at the C-suite executive side. And this isn't even within private equity-backed businesses. So the cost increases every time. And on top of that, 69% of employees within that survey said that they'd been adversely affected by that wrong hire. And to go deeper into that, that was based on morale, productivity, fewer sales, and also an increase in legal issues. And on top of that, the National Business Research Institute found that 18% of companies will see a loss in client relations due to bad hires. So what does this all mean? Of course, you need to avoid all of potential bad hires. Nobody's perfect. Google did a huge study. They invested millions and millions of pounds of not only trying to work out their process of how best to interview and how best to take people through a process. And they found that 50% it's a bit like flipping a coin, and 50% will work, 50% won't. So it does give us some gratitude that, okay, we don't have to be perfect. And if Google can't get it right with their huge employer brand, then the private equity world may be in the same. I don't believe that that's okay and that's fine. We just take that on merit. I think there's a lot of work to be done at the interview stages and selection processes. And there's too many searches that we certainly get that are replacement roles of C-suite executives because you've hired the wrong individual. And that's obviously very painful, not only for the business, but also the private equity firm to have to go through that replacement. But also what concerns me is the amount of private equity firms that hold on to people because they think, if we replace this person, we might get worse. If we replace this person, can we get better? So that is also a massive concern for me because that drops your EBITDA numbers again at exit. What I'll do is I'll put a couple of links in for the for the scorecard that I recommend that you build out, and also the interview process. They'll be on the screen as you see it right now. So what I would do is I'd take a look at them and begin to build that into your process of interviewing. Of course, we're an executive search firm. So if you are looking for profiles and you do need profiles coming into your portfolio or your private equity firm, and you want to improve that ratio of getting the wrong hire or ensuring that you are getting the very best people into the marketplace, please do reach out to me. My contact information will be on the screen as you see it now. But what I would do is build out your interview process and make sure your selection process is incredibly good. There's tons of resources out there to improve it. And unfortunately, I don't know many executives and I don't know many private equity investors that have been trained effectively on hiring, interviewing processes, and actually getting the right information out of potential candidates. It's something we all perceive ourselves as good at, but rightly so, we do need training and we do need development to put that together. If you do need help, as I said, reach out to me, but hopefully this gives you a bit of perspective over the potential pitfalls of hiring the wrong executive.